Good day, everyone. I will be your reporter for assessing grammar and vocabulary. So, let's start. Dialogue completion task, wherein the input is presented in the form of short conversation or dialogue in which a part of exchange or the entire exchange is left blank and the expected response meant to be grammatically correct. So, designing assessment tasks. So, still in extended production. So, there are 5-point scale for assessing syntactic knowledge, wherein under the Bachman and Palmer 1996. For 0, it is none. For 1, it is limited. For 2, it is moderate. For 3, it is extensive. And for 4, it is complete. Information gap task. So here, uh, it presents the input in terms of complete information. That is, one test taker is given half or some of the information and another test taker is given complementary information. Both test takers then have questions each other to get all the information. Well, sorry for that. So, for role-playing or simulation tasks, the input presents test takers with a language or non-language prompt that asks them to take on a role or stimulate a situation to solve a problem, make decision, or perform some transaction collaboratively. So this is more like the groupings because there are collaboration involved, and they will be given a certain task that somehow they're going to memorize a script or a line that will help them. Assessing vocabulary. So the nature of vocabulary, we can identify words as tokens and types. So tokens are all the words in the paragraph. So, and types are the other hand. Do not count words that are repeated, only words that are different forms. So the difference between the function words and content words. Function words are like prepositions, articles, conjunctions, and other little words are seen as belonging more to the grammar of the language than vocabulary, while content words are nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. So, some vocabulary tests might focus larger on lexical items such as phrasal verbs, wherein examples are put up with or run into. So these are the types of vocabulary assessment. So we have discrete and embedded vocabulary. For discrete vocabulary, we have multiple choice question format, matching formats, sentence completion or gap fill items, translation. For the embedded vocabulary, we have assessing vocabulary in reading comprehension, assessing vocabulary in writing, assessing vocabulary in speaking. 4 types of lexical phrases. Polywords are short fixed phrases that perform a variety of functions such as qualifying, marking fluency, disagreement, others. For example, disagreement and else. For example, for the most part, so to speak, and wait a minute. For institutionalized expression, these are the focuses on the longer utterances that are fixed in such as proverb and formulas for social interaction. For example, nice to meet you. How is it going? And else. Phrasal constraints are medium-length phrases that have basic structure with 1 or 2 slots that can be filled by various words or phrases. For example, yours truly, sincerely as far as I know, can tell, and else. So for sentence builders are phrases that provide the framework for complete sentence with one or two slots where whole ideas can be expressed. For example, on the other hand, not only, but only, but also, rather, and else. So defining lexical knowledge. Three components makes up Capel's definition of vocabulary. The context of vocabulary use, vocabulary knowledge, and fundamental process, metacognitive strategies for vocabulary use. So some consideration in designing assessment tasks. So some steps to design vocabulary tests. To clarify your purpose, define your construct, select your target of words, wherein highly frequency words, low frequency words, specialized vocabulary, sub-technical words, and to determine the mode of performance, receptive and productive vocabulary. So designing assessment tasks, receptive vocabulary. So first of all, it is important to consider what role the context plays in the item. One function of context is indicated as specific meaning of a high frequency word. Second, the learner must be able to recognize the word based on the given context. Read 2000 pages 163. Illustrate in the following items. So vocabulary is one sentence context. This is on the high frequency word. Vocabulary in one sentence context. This is for the low frequency word, and vocabulary matching exercise and word association. So for designing assessment tasks, productive vocabulary, a common vocabulary test type is a sentence completion, where the target vocabulary items is deleted from a sentence and the test takers must understand the context in which the word occurs in the order to produce the missing word. So these are the examples like fill in the blank and selective deletion clause. So that will be it. Thank you for listening. Well, my topics resource was from Brown Douglas Priyanvada Abhikrama 2010 Language Assessment Principles and Classroom Practices, 2nd edition, New York Pearson Education. So that will be all. Thank you for listening.